Randy in Madison, Mississippi. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com, but call me Mo Better, because I'm of you seeing Mo Better, looking Mo Better when I install the Crizal Ideal Advanced Digital Freeform Progressive Lenses with Transitions XTRAactive Gray and Crizal Avance in your RayBan 8903 that you have mailed to me. So here's a unique thing. Anytime someone mails me a progressive, what I have them do is take a marker such as a Sharpie, and while looking in the mirror, put a dot right in front of their pupils. Of course, you can have someone else looking at you as long as they're eye level with you. I'm trying to use that as an example, but don't have them standing above you or below you, because then the angle won't be right. If they're at eye level, put a dot on each lens and then mail them to me. So that's what Randy did. I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses. That way I can measure and know exactly where to place the height of the invisible bifocal. You go into any optical shop in this country and someone's going to take a pen out and put a dot on your lens. How did they do that? They must have gone to school for years to learn how to use a magic marker and put a dot on a lens. So I'm going to take the frame, put it into the tracing element of my blocker. One thing I forgot, let's assign a number to you. You are Secret Agent 1911. So, where's my paper clip that stays down here? There we go. Let's go ahead and attach this to your card. This is not your permanent record card. That has all your personal information, so I'm not going to show that on the internet, but I will share your credit card number. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So, by the way, I don't get anyone's credit card number. I use PayPal as my cash register. PayPal keeps all of that. So even if I was, and of course you know I'm joking, but even if I wasn't joking, I have no idea what your credit card number is. So I shouldn't even joke about that. Instead, what I'm going to joke about is, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So, I programmed this into the computer. You are Secret Agent, oh, actually, I have not yet. Let's do that. You are Secret Agent 1911. So that years from now, should you ever need new lenses for this frame, I can mail them right to your home. I'll have them cut to that size perfectly to know exactly what size, what prescription. Hit the start button. A little stylus is going to pop up. Go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame, and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. Now, again, as I mentioned, Randy is using his own frames that he mailed to me, so no free lenses. No, of course, he upgraded to the progressive anyway, but had you bought these from me, you would be eligible for single vision lenses. So, let's enter the pupillary distance, 31 for the right eye. The computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to tap the minus button. I need to look through my lenses and not the type of lens I'm cutting. Move the invisible bifocal height up to 24 because of the dots that he put on the lenses. We're going to go at 24 millimeters to the bottom of the lens. These are progressive lenses. Now I can hit that button and change the layout screen for the type of lens I'm cutting. Your lenses I've already got prepped. They're marked right and left. I just took a pen and right on their L. Now again, if you guys missed any of that, well, you just have to rewind. You didn't see that one coming. So, this is the block, or as I like to call him, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need two double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got here. So I'm going to place that one on the first one. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet with another magnet here. Drop that onto the platform. And the reason why I have those three dots on there, it tells me that it's oriented and they're just perfectly. The Crizal lenses have a 4 drop, so the top of the fitting height is 4 millimeters above the 180 datum. D-A-T-U-M. That's something you don't hear me say in the videos. Try and throw you a little tidbit every now and then when I can. Hit that button, the arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky, line up the magnet, grab the left lens, enter the pupillary distance of 34. And yes, you can see my fingerprints all over these lenses. You can see that on the screen. Get everything lined up the way it should be, the way it's supposed to be, the way it is. And open. Wait for it, wait for it. Hit that button, the arm comes down, places the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. That sounds fair. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home and you won't need this guy anymore with the bad jokes to cut them for you. But let me recap. This is $40,000. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, free jokes included with every pair of glasses sold. So let's wake up the computer. Job ID number 1911. That's the shape I am cutting. That white block is the block there. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens, but I am going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. The cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel that's going to grind away your lens material from this size down to this size. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little bevel, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and press that on there firmly. Line up the magnet with another magnet there in the chuck, or by now you know I like to call it the Charles, because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Hit the green start button, the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens will be traced by two white styluses, or styluses formerly known as white. Now they're a little beige. But it's tracing the shape of the right lens. And the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once is measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which with your prescription you will have none in this frame. But your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is a form of plastic. This is a mid-index lens, but it is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses, the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, you got the transitions that I'll demonstrate later, but you got the transitions XTRAactive Gray, which will block 50 to 70% of the harmful blue light emitted from today's electronic devices such as cell phones, tablets, computer screens, what am I leaving out? Laptops. And you also have the Crizal Avance. If you go to Crizal USA, you will get the breakdown of the different coatings, but Crizal is 3 features in one. It's a treatment. The first part of the treatment is it reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain. But from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. So you see the water spraying. It tells me it's in the last 20 seconds. Out comes the wheel that's going to put the safety bevel on it, which just means it's going to smooth out the back surface of the lens. But it's also an anti-reflective coating, so it reduces reflections. So when someone's looking at you, they're not going to be seeing their reflection in the lens. It makes for much better eye contact. Plus, why millennials love it, if you take a selfie, if someone else takes a picture with a flash, you're less likely to see the flash or your reflection in the lens. And of course, the third feature that I like, the practical side, is it comes with the industry's hardest scratch coating. The machine that applies the Crizal anti-glare costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. So let's see if it fits first time around. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside of the lens. Pushing out the nose, it snaps right in. Let's flip that over to L. Put the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or tonight I will call it the Randy. Hit the green start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens again will be traced by the 2 almost white styluses, formerly white styluses. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the left side of the lens. and knowing where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness, of which you got none. Randy, look at it. You got no edge thickness. I told you you wouldn't. So, let's take the block off, pull the sticker away, use my hand-approved drying method, throw that back in there, attach that to my sticker collection, come down here to the lensometer, and I'm going to place it just above that black dot, which is the optical center of your lens, the fitting height, the wearing configuration, your PD. Turn the axis wheel to 85, and I'm getting, there it is, plus 1 1/4. That's starting at 0, going into the black, not the reds, which are minus. Going into the black, we're getting 1 1/4. That's because the unit of measurement used in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0 and goes up in quarter increments, so 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1 1/4. So you need 5 steps of far-sighted correction. Without your glasses on, everything is much too small, so your lenses magnify. Now, once the image is the correct size, you have 3 steps of astigmatism correction. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tune knob. So we're going to turn starting at 0, going to 90 to 180. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob. We're going to stop just shy of 90 at the 85th meridian. Now, your left eye, you need 7 steps of far-sighted correction, and then an additional 6 steps of astigmatism correction, and we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 105. Now, once we have the distance corrected, you need an additional, the add of 150. Again, another 6 steps. So if you were to buy over-the-counter reading glasses, you would add the 125 to 150, and that would give you 275. For the left, you need about 3 1/4. Now, over-the-counters don't correct for astigmatism, and they don't take your pupillary distance into account, but for short periods of time, you can use them. And speaking of short periods of time, you've got 3 daughters with you. They grow up so fast. I just wanted to mention Claire, who's 18, who attends Rhodes College. Liza, who turns sweet 16 in 3 days on August 15th. And Ellie, who's 14. Liza and Ellie go to St. Andrew's Episcopal. Claire, who's at Rhodes, thinking about the ministry. I just want to point out my next project I'm working on. I am designing some Christian eyewear. Now, this is an early prototype. Just like with Frankenstein, it's easier to build with large parts. The final pieces will be 1/3 this size. I will still mount them vertically. I'm also going to mount them horizontally. And I'm going to have a complete collection, some kids' glasses. We'll have different emblems here. And hang on, you want to see something really cool? One of the designers I met with, this is a temple. Just like, what did I do with your frame? Oh, it's down here. Oh, wait, let's check your astigmatism correction. Of your plus 125 minus 75, we end up at plus 50, exactly halfway between 0 and 1. Because what happens when you subtract 75 from 1 1/4, you have 50 left over. But just like the temple that is on here, this is one too, but it has a guitar neck on the end. So I'm going to have them put a cross on the end of this temple tip. How's that going to be for really cool? Don't worry, it's going to be smoothed out like this. It won't catch your hair. It's going to be nice. Don't worry, I'm going to take good care of you. I know what I'm doing because this is my first time designing glasses. Beginner's luck. You know, I got that going for me. But I just want to show you future projects that are coming my way. I just met a great guy who's going to help me build the website. I'll tell you more about him this week when I make glasses for him, but I just want to point those out for now. So, put this back in my pocket. So, where was that? Oh yeah, your left lens. So let's take it out of the Chuck, the Charles, the Randy. Dry everything off. Run my thumbnail around, get any optical sawdust, also known as Schwarf. I would say may the Schwarf be with you, but it's not because I cleaned it all off. So let's see, the left lens fits. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Press down at the nose, it snaps right in. Take the block off. Take the sticker off. Again, use my hand-approved drying method. Use my sleeve-approved drying method. Throw that back in there. Add that to my sticker collection. So, I'm just shy of 1 year. This is from September 1st of last year. Let me give you show you something. This is now 8:55 p.m. on Monday, August 12th. Liza turns 16 on the 15th, 3 days from now. But yes, it is 8:56 p.m., 87 degrees in my hometown here in North Carolina, or North Kakalaki. I came in at 8 a.m. this morning. Now, I do work some long hours, but I did go out to dinner with my wife. Went some shopping after that, get some groceries, some good healthy stuff. I'm doing a special thing this week. I'm not going to consume any added sugars. Now, the fruits or vegetables or something like that, that's fine, but nothing added. The guy who's building my website, incredibly fit human, a few years older than me, but he looks like he's 20 years younger than me. I got to catch up to him. He's giving me some inspiration. Sometimes we need that little push from someone else. But, so let's read the prescription off here. We're going to move it down to that. But I did want to stay late just to make sure that Randy got his glasses. I don't want to keep anyone waiting. There are times I get backed up, and it's tough to get everything out as fast as I want when people want a video, but I'm taking the time to make sure it's done right. We're going to turn the axis wheel to 105. We're going to read the power, if all goes well, of plus 175. Turn the power drum, and I'm seeing 3 skinny lines. Now, when I look in here, I can't see what you guys are seeing, but hopefully you can see 3 skinny lines. I'm going to turn this. Of course, I can't see up close because I'm in a progressive, but what we're going to do, 150. So if all goes well, it's going to transition from 3 skinny lines to 3 thicker lines about right there. Now, hopefully you guys can see that in there. I'm going to look in there, yeah, 3 thicker lines, and then when we're done, we're at plus a quarter, 1 tick mark away from 0, because when you subtract 150 from 175, that's what you get. So let's check the pupillary distance. 31 and 34 is a total of 65. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb, against that black dot, and we're getting, what I say it was, 31 and 34, so we should get 65. When we hold it up there, look at that, 65. Excuse me, a little dust flying around from this thing. So, that's cut perfectly. Let's check the optical center height of 24. 24 to the middle of the bottom of the frame. You want to see something cool? Let's darken this. Let's darken that so you can see it's bigger. Hold up the lens that he put the dot on, and we do that. Look at that. Look at that. The same height. Now this is moved over a little bit because looking in the mirror he may have turned his head. But that dot that's behind that lens, I should do it another color, is right there at the same height as that one. So, now, as I clean the lenses, I like to mention in every video that this purchase is tax-free because I'm in North Carolina. A lot of people on the internet are now having to charge tax on things, but because I am in North Carolina, my state considers glasses a medical device. There is no tax on medical devices. So if you purchase anything from me, you do not have to pay sales tax. You also don't have to pay shipping, because I do free shipping anywhere in the U.S. and Madison, Mississippi is still in the U.S. from what I heard. As of a few minutes ago, at dinner time it was. So, let me take that off of there. I also send out instructions. I send out a selfie request. Randy, I would love to have a picture of you wearing these. Actually, 2 pictures. One with them clear indoors, one with them outside activated. But I also send out cleaning instructions, not only on the frame and lenses, but on the cleaning cloth that I'm going to provide, the Crizal cleaning cloth, and you should have gotten one with your RayBan case that you did not send with me, but it'll work for that, as well as how to care for your case, so it too will last you for years. But let's go ahead, and this is what your lenses look like before they have been activated. I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light in my transitions box, but that's what they look like. Now, the other thing I want to point out, you do get 1 pair of clear single vision prescription or non-prescription lenses when you buy the frame from me. For single vision lenses, I charge $50 for your prescription, and then any add-ons that you want. The progressive, the Essilor Ideal Advance starts at $149.99. There is an RX fee of $25 when you send me your frames. You know, throw me a bone. I make a little bit off the frames. I don't make a lot because you see how little I charge on the lenses. This same lens would be $300 to $350 at your doctor's office. The Transitions XTRAactive are $99.99, and the Crizal Avance is $99.99. Each one of those sells for $130 to $150 respectively around the country. So I've got that for much less, 30 to 40% off, for a total of $374.97 tax-free. Now that that's out of the way, let me expose these to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, Randy, this is important, and everyone else listening. All transition lenses will get dark on day one and continue to darken every day for the first couple years. For the first couple weeks they're exposed to the sun. After that, they work for years at maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car, because your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun all day, or your upholstery doesn't rot. Now, the Transitions XTRAactive, these lenses will get 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 and above than they will when it's the 95. Let's try this again. It's late. They will get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees. Having said that, these Transitions XTRAactive will get darker in hotter weather. In Mississippi, in California, in Texas, the Gulf Coast, Florida, any place that's very hot, you may want to get the Transitions XTRAactive so they'll get very dark in the hotter weather. So now the Transition 7 and 8 lenses do not get as dark as these will. And of course, they don't get dark at all inside of a car. These will get 30 to 50% dark. And a reminder, they still block 50 to 70% of harmful blue light. Transitions XTRAactive will. The Transition 7 and 8 will block 30 to 40% of harmful blue light. And you can see as this lightning as I keep running my mouth. But don't worry, Randy, they'll keep getting darker. Come on, we talked about that, don't you remember? So again, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can even share these videos on social media to get the word out. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com. On Twitter is freerxlenses. And if you know someone who would like to see some of these, please turn them on to the videos of the social media. Again, Randy, thank you for the purchase of the Crizal Ideal Advance with Transitions XTRAactive Gray and Crizal Avance. I'm going to turn the flashlight on, but there's no way you can see that on these carbon fiber temples. But you sent me your RayBan 8903, color 5200, and size 55. I believe this also comes in a 53 eye size. I do sell this frame if anyone wants it. And by the way, did you hear at some point you get free prescription lenses when you buy the frames from me? I just thought I would remind everyone, in case y'all dozed off through the middle of it. I almost dozed off and I was standing here doing all of this. So again, thanks for watching, and hopefully everyone else has now got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.